it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're gonna do a chit chat get ready with me. Now, I haven't done one of these in I don't even know how long, but I figured it would be kind of fun to talk about my personal goals for 2021 because, you know, 2020 sucked for a lot of people and didn't do a lot of people any favors. And I have a lot of makeup that I wanted to play with, but I don't really want to do a review over just yet. So we're just going to play today. That's kind of what I wanted to do. And I'll kind of explain to you why I don't really feel like doing a review today or anything like that. So for 2021, personally, I want to make it a year of health. A year of health not only for me, but for my kids and my husband. So as of right now, not the kids, just me and Jeremy are on a 3-day juice cleanse. So today is day 3. We are going to have a real meal tonight. We're making turkey tacos. But Jeremy really needs some help with his gut health. So if he was doing it, I figured I might as well do it with him. And then on top of that, for our eating plan, our changing of our habits, we're just going to try to do things like regular food, but make them healthier. And also have the kids work with us. Okay, so in our family right now, 4 out of the 5 of us are overweight. I mean, it is what it is. Let's call a spade whenever you know you have an issue, you have an issue. So 3 out of the 5 of us are 4 out of the 5 of us are overweight. Some not so much, but I mean, technically when you look at, you know, what it says where you need to be, we are overweight. I'm gonna use the Glamlight Pie Palette. I haven't used this yet, and I really wanted to kind of play with it. So, I figured the easiest way to do things was to kind of try to do this together. You know what I mean? As a family working on it. Again, together versus sitting there, you know, a couple of people doing it and not everybody doing it, because that's where we've run into issues before. And some of you may or may not know, I have an autoimmune disease. I have fibromyalgia. It sucks pretty badly. And over the past few years, they've tried a lot of different medications and things like that I had a lot of issues with that definitely did not help me in the weight department. You know, there's medicines, a lot of medicines, and a lot of them that I was on, that one of the main side effects was weight gain. And guess what? I had the weight gain from it. It's a pretty color. But yeah, so I want to get healthier because, you know, on top of that, 2020 saw where, you know, can't go to the gym. Well, we can in Texas, they've opened back up and stuff, but we can't like really go, like with me having an autoimmune disease, I don't feel comfortable going to a gym, you know. Sitting there trying to do hardcore CrossFit with a mask on does not seem very fun to me. So, you know, that's another habit that kind of went by the wayside this year. So I'm starting off, I've been working out every day of the new year, and I'm going to try to continue that habit and trying to get 30 minutes a minimum a day of extra activity that is actually exercise activity. I mean, that's what I have my Apple Watch for, which I've actually almost completed all of my goals for today because I worked out before I came into work. Like I went and got on the treadmill. And then we have the Apple Fitness Plus thing now. So we have yoga that we've been doing at night to kind of help stretch our bodies and make it healthier. But one of the things, the main things that we're doing is we're changing what we're eating to not really change it hardcore, but trying to choose healthier recipes, I guess is the best way to put it. I think that that's important, and I want the kids to help choose our meals and stuff like that, because I think when you have input into it, because as I said, 4 out of the 5 of us are what is considered overweight. Caden, He is as skinny as a rail, but you know, he's 18 years old, he's a boy, and his metabolism has not changed yet. So he's got it a little bit easier. So, but that still doesn't mean I want him to not be healthy. And this time we're not doing keto. Jeremy has high cholesterol, not high enough to need medication, but when you have high cholesterol, doing keto, or at least what our doctor recommends, that is not the best way to go about things. So as I said, we're going for health and not weight loss. Like, I'm not setting a number scale. I want to be able to move and breathe and things like that. That's where I want to be. And you know, I feel like doing a goal like that is a lot more obtainable than sitting there always being like, oh, I want to weigh 120 pounds. Well, no, I don't. I've gotten that small again like I was in high school, and for some reason, as an adult being that skinny, I looked very sickly compared to what I did in school, which makes no sense because I haven't grown any in height. But, you know, I just want health. I think health is the most important aspect of all of this. So that's what I am trying to achieve. You know what I mean? Like, no numbers, just health. And I think that'll also help me stick to things if I set a goal like that versus, you know, I need to be this size. No, because, you know, being a size 2 doesn't always equate to health. Being a size 12 doesn't always equate to unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I equate health to what your test results are at the doctor, how much you can move. You know, I want to get my flexibility back. That's a pretty color. That's kind of where I'm at on things, you know, sitting there being like, I need to be this, I need to do that, isn't always the right way to go about it. You know what I mean? So that is my personal goal, is just to get healthy. And then on the icing on the cake, the other things I want to do, kind of like with last year, I want to, sorry, I'm going out of focus. I want to get healthy, but I also want to accomplish things. Like, you know, I spent a whole lot more time with my family in 2020 because we didn't go anywhere, we didn't do anything. But we spend a lot of time together anyway, so that wasn't like a major goal of mine. I mean, literally, you can ask my kids. We spend so much time together, it's not even funny. And they choose it too. It's not like we make them stay and hang out with us, you know, because as I said, 2 out of the 3 of mine are adults, so they can choose what they do. But that's a pretty look. That's a very pretty look. But yeah, I mean, so for me, a lot of it is choosing just healthier habits in general. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to move more without getting so exhausted all the time. I think that's a good goal. That's one of the things, you know, movement, because, you know, at some point, possibly, I don't want to make my kids feel like they have to have babies or whatever, but if I do have grandbabies, I want to be able to, you know, play with them, all that fun kind of stuff. I just used the Mud Pie shade as an eyeliner. That worked out pretty well. So that's kind of where I am on that. But so, like, for us, one of the things we're doing, as I said, we're going to substitute healthy alternatives and still try to have some of the things that we like. Like for tonight, for dinner, we're having tacos, but we're going to do turkey tacos instead of beef tacos, because ground turkey is a lot healthier for you. You know, cut back on the cheese. Salsa's not super bad for you. Not have as many. That always helps. I'm using the Gucci foundation. This is the shade 250O. And I like this foundation. I've used it a couple of times so far. I know a lot of people don't. But I think it depends on your skin type too, because like I have very normal skin, and since it is a natural matte finish, I know a lot of people who've used it where they were using it in conjunction with having a drier skin type. That is where they have issues. And I also am one to, I want to say, over moisturize my skin. I just moisturize it a whole lot in comparison. So as you can see, it has a little bit of yellowness to it, but once it's blended out, it actually blends out to be a pretty good color for me. And I would say it's more of a medium finish foundation. I wouldn't say it's like a full coverage foundation by any means, but I like how it looks on my skin. Is it my favorite foundation? No, or at least not at this point. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time I've worn it. Because whenever I go through to do, especially foundation reviews, especially on more expensive products, I like to definitely get some wear out of them before saying yay or nay on my thoughts on a foundation. Because again, foundation, especially like Gucci, you know, I think both of these bottles together, because I ordered them directly from Gucci, it was like $58 for the primer and like $68 for the foundation. I think it was well over $120. So what I typically like to do with this foundation is I would take and spread it on originally with a brush, and then I kind of go back with my sponge just to make sure it's all set in and not heavy in places. Ooh, dropped my sponge. But it does smell like Old Lady. And I hope no one takes offense to it, but it smells like Old Lady perfume. And y'all know what I mean when I say Old Lady perfume. I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad smell. It just has that old lady-ish perfume smell. And it is rather strong, if I have to say so myself. So I'm going to use, this is the Danessa Myricks Balm Contour. I have the shade Medium 1. This is what it looks like, and it is so good. I got this in the other day, and every time I've done my makeup since I've gotten it in, I have worn this. And I will tell you, this has like the prettiest finish on it. I don't know what it is, but I love how this sits on my skin. Now, I know this may not be everybody's forte, but I am enjoying it. And I just use like a dense brush and kind of pat and blend, pat and blend. And you see how quickly that blends out? I mean, it's like nothing. But yeah, it's so good. And I haven't had any issues with it wanting to break me out or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the year of health is definitely my top priority. Getting more exercise and making healthier choices. And doing it slowly, because I think whenever you start to do things super drastic, it can hinder things as well. But I also don't want to lose out on like all my enjoyment in life, if you know what I mean. Like, I still like sweets, so I don't want to not have access to those things, you know what I mean? But look how pretty that is. That has, look, I mean, just, it doesn't look patchy. It doesn't settle weird. It's very easy and fast to blend out. I mean, look, you saw how quickly that was. I love it. I love it. That is something I actually know for sure that I love. I got a new shade in the Magic Away concealer from Charlotte Tilbury. I ordered the shade 3. I wanted the shade 4, but they were sold out. So it's like, we'll try the shade 3 because I still like to highlight with concealer too. The thing with theirs is you got to kind of keep twisting until it moves like all the way up into here. It's kind of a pain in the hiney. But yeah, because I liked the way that it looked. And if you hear a train, there's not really much I can do about it. We're in the middle of the day. But yeah. And today's been a hellacious day at work too. Like, it is literally now 2:59 and I'm just now filming. And I want to get this video up for today because I took a few days off from filming. And because of the holidays and stuff like that, and especially since I went through and did 31 days of videos, you know, your girl needs a break. I applied so much concealer. That's a lot of concealer, but you know, just go with it. But no. Fuzzball from falling on the floor. Anyway. But on top of that, I want to work on getting better at doing my hair. Makeup, I'm going to slow down with buying. I don't know exactly what rules I'm gonna set for myself yet, but I do want to slow down with buying because the problem is I bought so many eyeshadow palettes and stuff last year and I don't want to get rid of anything. I love my collection. But, you know, owning this much, it makes it hard to use. Now, okie dokie. So I'm back. I had to take a break since the train was so darn loud today. Sometimes they're like that, sometimes they're not. I don't understand the way trains work, you know. That sounds weird to say. But I don't understand how certain aspects of them work because they're like, oh, we're gonna be super loud today. And then tomorrow, not so much. Set my under eyes. But yeah, I mean, year of health, certain other goals. And then for myself personally, there's a few other things I want to get better at. I want to get better, like I said last year and really haven't worked on, getting better at doing my hair. I mean, I have worked on it some and I have done it a whole lot more. If you look back at most of my older videos, I almost always wore it up or it was down and nothing was done to it. Like I've curled it, learned to curl it more and all that kind of stuff. And I've invested a lot of money in hair care equipment. I bought these clips, these butterfly clips because of Heather Austin. It was a 3-pack for like 15 bucks. They're so cute. Anyways, but yeah, I want to get better at doing hair, or at least on myself personally. And then on top of that, what I'm starting about with beauty, that's where I left off. This is the Chantecaille Blur Powder. This stuff is so freaking expensive. It's not even funny. But Teresa's Dead, Yachty, all those luxury, well, Teresa's not really a luxury channel, Michelle Wong, all that, they didn't lie. This powder is amazing. I mean, and you can see this had a design all the way through the middle, how much I've used it, that the design is definitely going away. Not look pretty. So, anyways, and look how beautiful my skin looks with that. Y'all know, skin is always something that's important to me. Now, what works for some doesn't work for everyone, and I'm lucky that I have pretty good skin. But yeah, I bought so much that I want to slow down my buying, not for financial stuff, but I want to have, you know, more careful thoughts into what I am buying. Now, there are going to be some rules that it will not apply to, I know for sure, but I'm pretty sure I want to cut it down to where I'm buying a palette a week at the most. Now, if there is a Pat McGrath launch, in conjunction with another palette that I want, a Natasha Denona palette, or anything that is in collaboration with like Disney, those will not count towards that one palette a week, because I am especially a collector of those. You know, I try to be very honest about that. So that is definitely not something I want to do, is cut out those, because I will always purchase. I probably won't be purchasing from ColourPop, again, unless it's like a Disney collab, and I think they're doing an Animal Crossing collab. I'll probably pick those up if it's cute. This is the NARS Claud from the Claudette collection. This is Corset and Nino Chaka. I cannot say that. I like to mix these two together. Well, I just got this and I've worn it once. But yeah. I want, ColourPop is off my radar except for those things because of, yeah, no, I don't even. They just are releasing too much for me to be even interested in purchasing anything. And I think that's part of the problem, is it's like, slow down. I want more thought put in the products that I'm purchasing. You know what I mean? This is the YSL highlighter. This is what Nadia got me for Christmas. And this is in the Touche d'éclat 3D All Over Glow. I think this could be used kind of like as an all over powder. I use it as a highlight. And it's not a blinding highlight by any means, but it's still very, very pretty. And sometimes you don't want the blinding highlight, or at least I don't. But you see what I mean? Like, you still have a glow. It's just, it's more subtle. But yeah, no. ColourPop at this point is off my radar. Did y'all see the pictures of the MAC release with the Sims? I was so pissed. I was so pissed because Sims is a game that I actually love, and I have bought every iteration of it, like Sims, the original, and Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4. If they decide to come out with like a Sims 5, I will definitely purchase it. I don't play games that often, but my goodness, did MAC really screw it up. But yeah, no. Health, work on doing my hair, slow down with makeup purchases. And it's the thing with slowing down with makeup purchases is it's not because of the money aspect of it. It is more to do with I am just completely overwhelmed and I want to get use out of my makeup collection. I have a very extensive makeup collection. So I wanted to know what y'all thought about, because like I have a lot of palettes that I purchased either before I did YouTube or just never got around to doing a review on over the years. So I wanted to know what y'all thought about too, about me doing like retro reviews, kind of like Teresa's Dead has done. Instead of always focusing like on the new, throwing in some of my older palettes and reviewing them. Because especially if there's something that is still for sale, I think that that could be very, very helpful. So, because, you know, especially if a palette goes on sale, you want to know if it's any good. So I might start doing that. Like if, especially like when Ulta does their 21 days of beauty, or checking back through what's on Sephora, sell at Sephora, doing that type of thing. And I was going to get the Beautylish Lucky Bag this year, but I decided to skip out on it because, you know, I've learned that I would rather spend the money. Like the last time I bought a Lucky Bag, the products that came in it weren't bad. I got some Charlotte Tilbury, I got some, I got a Wayne Goss brush, I got By Terry, I got a lot of good things. But I think the only thing that I have left from that is the Wayne Goss brush, because most of the things that I got in there weren't things that would even work for my skin tone. Like the Charlotte Tilbury palette I got, the blush and bronzer wouldn't show up on me. So, yeah. I just had my brows waxed today, so I think they look pretty good though. I did go a little heavy on the color, but it's okay. you know, sometimes it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I just want to kind of be more thoughtful and thorough with my stuff. And I still want to support as many indie brands as possible. Let's not forget about that. Like, I think that that is such an important thing to do, is support smaller indie brands, especially minority owned, because it is already so much more difficult for minorities in business and women owned business, because, you know, it's a man's world. That still hasn't changed. And when I say that, I mean, I don't want it to seem like I'm against men or anything like that, because I want equal for all, not equal for some, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And, you know, supporting and making sure you're giving your dollars to, you know, well, here, let's face it, like, a lot of CEOs of makeup companies are cisgender white men who don't wear makeup. Why are they the ones deciding what's trendy and what should go on my face? You know what I mean? I want to support brands, and I don't care who they're owned by, who actually love makeup and love wearing makeup like I do. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. You know, we try to teach our kids inclusivity as much as humanly possible. Sometimes that's not always the easiest thing in the world to do. Not the inclusivity part, but making sure to teach it the correct way, because, you know, things have changed. Things have changed a lot, even in, you know, the past couple of years. What is okay to say and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I want to make sure I'm teaching my kids the right way to say things, and again, making inclusivity possible. So I know if I'm making those choices and teaching my kids to make the choice of, you know, supporting a small indie brand versus a big brand, is always a good thing to teach. I think, you know, I could be wrong, but I think it's important. And I won't sit here and pretend to be like, oh, I do everything right. I am Miss Perfect. I've never stumbled or anything like that. No, that's not how that works. That looks really pretty. But yeah, that is not how life works in general. Let's not get it twisted on things, and, you know, be honest from the get-go. I'm glad I have a backup of this, because I'm going on like a ColourPop boycott, because this is probably one of my favorite setting sprays, honestly. The mist on it, look, so fun. And with that being said, I want to make sure, I'm glad I have a backup on that, because I really do love their setting spray. I'm gonna go ahead and line my eyes, tight line with black. I think will be the best. But yeah, I mean, I know, you know, for us in certain generations, you know, trying to figure out how to approach things and do things, it's completely different. And it makes it hard, because we're learning right along with other people, you know what I mean, if that makes sense. It's like, I don't know. It's a weird situation. But as I said, I want to make sure my kids are taught acceptance and inclusivity as much as possible. And that starts with who I spend my money with. And I think supporting small brands is always going to be important. So, you know, and then certain things like with Black Friday and my birthday month, if I want to go a little extra, go a little ham with purchases, we might do that. I don't know yet. But I do want to do more foundation and stuff like that. But I always feel weird doing like a foundation review or a bronzer review, because do you want to watch a video? And I need your input. Do you want to watch a video over a bronzer, a blush? Or is it something that you need to see, you know, a whole collection? Well, I mean, but there, for like someone like me, there's no point in buying a bronzer in every shade. And, you know, what works for me, again, may not work for you. And eyeshadows are my absolute favorite thing. So I don't know. You see the quandary that I am in? Just trying to figure it out. But yeah, let me know what you think. Sorry about that interruption. I had a cough. Anyways, this is the finished look. I think it looks really pretty. And let me know down below what you think and what you're wanting to see. As I said, eyeshadows aren't going anywhere. I don't know how many I'm going to do. Let me know what your favorite products to see reviewed and things like that are as well. Because I think that's important. You know, I want to make videos that make me happy, but I also want to make videos that make you guys happy as well. And as I said, I think those things are important. Definitely think those things are important. I keep piling on more highlighter, more and more makeup, but I think my skin looks really pretty. What do you think? So, anyways, I guess that's it for today's video. Check me out on all my social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. But I guess that's it. We'll see y'all later. Bye.